Hi guys.
Say what and then start the live? Go ahead. Sorry.
Hi guys. Welcome back to the Library of Alexandria. And today, guys, I'm coming at you not having been able to go to laser tag, so I am a grumpy Gus. But we're talking about the Lies of Locke Lamora. Note my MMPB.
What have you done?
It is what it is. I would never read that version. And this is my Red Seas Under Red Skies. Anyway, so this is the first book of the Gentleman Bastards series, and it is not finished, which I don't love. I have heard that Lynch is feeling better, and so is in the process. I saw today there's an ebook of something of like a story that was from Locke Lamora, like his youth. Like, have you read that?
No, but I just downloaded it. I'm gonna read it really
soon.
soon.
Did it just come out?
Recent?
So I think it's 2 short stories that he had previously published in a magazine, and now they're bound up and available for purchase.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I just got an email from Sub Press about like an ebook, and I'm like, I won't get that ebook.
It's only like $4.
Yeah, that's fine. That's like, especially if it's from his youth with Master Chains. At any rate, with me, I have Anitha, who decided to read a book with me this time and actually finished it. It's not 2 months after it's supposed to be.
Poor
and then Murphy, who is BookTube's basically
apologist.
No, not apologist. That's what I am for KJ Parker.
Okay.
You are the paragon. You are its champion.
Okay, great.
You are the biggest Gentleman Bastards fan that I know on BookTube. I think probably everyone else would say the same thing. So thank you so much for joining us here, Murphy.
Thanks for having me.
Busy schedule of
chaos.
Murphy is too cheerful. You are grumpy. I don't know which energy to balance actually.
I mean, my grumpiness will fix as soon as we get into it. I'll just forget to be grumpy. So Murphy, this is me and Anitha's first time reading it. How many times have you read this book, and when did you discover? Like, tell me about your Locke Lamora origin story.
Yay! Okay, so Locke Lamora is so growing up, I mostly read dystopians and fantasy as like a middle school, high schooler. And then outside of high school, I went really hard into like contemporary and completely abandoned fantasy and thought that I didn't like it. Locke Lamora is the second fantasy book that I read in my adulthood.
What was the first?
Mistborn.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah. So I really loved it, but it was quite overwhelming, the jumping back between present and past timelines. I loved the story, but it was just too much to kind of take in. And Lynch he loves his descriptions, and I was just like, I don't know, we're spending so much time. So I enjoyed it, continued trying more fantasy books, and then ended up circling back to Locke Lamora because I couldn't stop thinking about it, reread it, and then I was like, oh wait, this is the greatest thing I've ever read. And then read all 3 books and then just kept rereading them. I honestly don't know how many times I've read it, but it has been a while since. Oh, sorry. I think the video's playing on my phone. I don't know how that happened.
Someone just like busted into your, I thought like a studio audience member like busted into your.
I thought someone just joined voice chat for us and started talking. Anyway, it's been a minute, so some of the details are a little bit foggy for me, but
which is your favorite? Is the first one your favorite of the 3?
The second is my favorite, but the first and second are interchangeable almost. It's by a hair's breadth.
Okay, so for those who don't know, Lies of Locke Lamora, you hear a lot about, like, someone in my Discord called it like Cobblestone Ocean's 11. It's not that, guys. Like, if you think that this book is completely about a heist, like, it's not. Like, there is some of that. This book is way darker than like Ocean's 11, so you just need to be aware of that also, like, just in case you're surprised. I will say, we'll talk about not spoilers up front, but I don't want anybody in the comments to say anything about books 2 or 3, and I'm not going to be able to explain to you what I mean until we talk about spoilers. And anyway, I think Lynch, because I read the first like 200 pages of this like 2 years ago in the summer, and then I stopped for Three Body Problem because of the show, and then I had to read freaking Dark Forest because it did whatever, and I never got back to it. But I think Lynch is infinitely readable. The fact, like at this point, with I have like with my children that make me stupid, and it's just really really hard to concentrate on anything. A readable author. I was saying this about when we had our discussion about Game of Thrones and Martin. I don't have to struggle to read what I'm reading, and that like if a book does not feel its length for me,
Yeah.
that is an auto win. Like when I am sitting here, like just scrambling, like to get through, I'm like, how's this book 300 pages? This book has to be like 800 pages. But like with Locke Lamora, like it's 700 pages. But at no point did I feel that it was 700 pages. And that alone, like raises Lynch really high in my estimation, because it's hard to do. Klaus, who is not here, but is like the #1 Lynch fan in Europe, I guess.
So I only have the American title? Wow. My introduction was just reduced significantly.
Lynch is just really good at writing dialogue, and I said, I've got marks here. What I really like that Lynch does is Lynch is one of the best I've read recently that does not info dump, instead drops exactly what you need to know, and then leaves you wondering a little about what that thing is. And there were several times that I marked it. I'm trying to find, like I dog-eared some pages, and I'm trying of him doing like that exact thing. But he just like doles out little pieces of information and doesn't really ever stop to explain it, but leaves enough breadcrumbs to where like you're kind of leaning forward. It's like someone, one of those, that episode of The Office where they're trying to explain to Michael like how to like negotiate, and it's just like you talk quieter to kind of make them lean in, and of course Michael does it wrong. He just like whispers. Exactly. But like for me, that's what Lynch is doing. It's the equivalent of talking like here to where you have to move forward to be like, okay, and what else? And I just thought it was.
I love that description.
I thought it was really wonderfully done, multiple times through that. So I was really, really impressed with Lynch's writing, and I also really cared about the kids. So watching. Many people before reading this only had your reviews of them, Murphy, and that's me as well. Like I've heard you talk about it, I've heard Klaus talk about it, I've heard Kev talk about it in my Discord. But like yours are the main reviews I've listened to. And I thought that the friendship between Locke and John was much bigger in this book than it actually is. Like we don't really get a ton of the friendship with John until the back half is really when we get to see a lot of that stuff. What you don't mention is that there's a whole crew that I love just as much.
Bud
and the twins, like I love all of them, and it felt to me like Chains and the Thief Maker. It's like fantasy, like Oliver Twist. Like I can see Fagin, I can see Ron Moody easily playing the Thief Maker or Chains, just like he was in, he originated the Fagin in the Broadway Oliver. I could see it every time, and it made me so happy. I'm just like Locke is like a combination of Dodger and Oliver, because he's new, but he's not incompetent like Oliver is. And someone, I think Klaus, said that the twins are like the Weasley twins, but in like Victorian England. Anyway, it was just, I just loved it. Like I loved it. And the heist that is like the setup for the heist and the con, guys, I don't know if y'all have seen, Ocean's 11, but also like Matchstick Men. Like I love movies that have con artists, because I think it's so hard to do really well, because it has to be believable that they're fleecing these people, but there also has to be like realistic conflict. that allows them to then have to pivot, and then it's just like a kind of like a death note back and forth between light and L, like
Yeah.
adjusting plans on the fly. And so I thought that was really good, especially at the beginning. So anyway, so I love this book. Like I love this book. It is not the same book at the end as it begins. Like it's not.
No. But that's the tricky thing, though, right? Like, if you're reviewing this, if you're just giving a pitch for it, you have to focus on the con, and you have to focus on the things that happen in the beginning.
Yeah, talking about the rest of the book is too big of a
you literally can't. All you can talk about is the setup, and then people just have to discover the rest.
Yeah, exactly. But I love, like, I am looking forward to the second one. I didn't like everything. Like I there is a chapter that we'll talk about surely that there's a chapter at the end that should have been at the beginning. Like it's like tonally it's a chapter from the beginning. It does not fit the tone of the back half. But other than that, like I'm not sure I loved where it went as opposed to where I wanted it to go. But I try not to fault books for not doing what I want them to do. Like Dagger and Coin, Daniel Abrams' Dagger and Coin, the first 3 books are exactly what I want. And then book 4 pivots and kind of goes a different way in the plot than I want it to go. The book is not any worse than books 1 through 3, but the plot is not what I wanted it to be. And so I like it less. But I try not to be too harsh on this. But anyway, I've talked for 10 minutes straight. Anita, what do you think? Non-spoiler thoughts while I highlight some comments here.
Okay. Before someone attacks me in the comments, I like the book overall. So, but there is I think I went into this book with wrong expectations. People always talked about heist and friendship, how fun it is. So I expected a fun book actually. I wasn't expecting a grimdark book. I wouldn't have picked this trilogy actually to read in parallel with Game of Thrones if I had known this is grimdark actually. Because I define grimdark as, bleak world and violence and morally gray characters. This book has all 3 of them, but nobody, at least if people had described this as grimdark, I totally missed it. I thought it was a fun book actually. So when it started, that prologue actually, you guys won't believe it took me 3 days to finish prologue, to get through the prologue. No! It's like, I mean, there was a lot of like child harming children, like children hanging, them getting caught and getting hanged. I was so surprised at the bleakness of the world. I was like, okay, I'm not ready for it. I don't want to read it. I hope once this prologue is done from chapter 1, tone changes. I hope for that. So it took me some time to get used to the world, get used to the tone of the world. Once I hit like 150 to 100 pages, that's where it picked up for me. And by that time, I already fell in love with the characters, Locke and the crew, especially the twins, Sanjo twins. So, but overall, violence, oh my God. I think
it is intense.
Yeah, it is intense, especially those graphic scenes. There is one scene, Mitch isn't here. He completely ruined me from needing the dough forever. Naan or roti is a regular staple in my house. I can't knead a dough without thinking of one scene now.
Oh no!
Completely ruined.
I've forgotten what scene that is.
We'll talk about it in spoilers. But oh my God, it was some of the violent scenes are like very graphically described. I was like surprised actually. So I wasn't prepared for it when it comes to grimdark books. When it comes to that kind of intense violent scenes, I like to be prepared. I wanted to know when I get into it actually. So it took me definitely. It's not completely positive experience for me. Maybe if I reread, then that reread will be better experience for me. So it was definitely a shocking experience. But by the end, I definitely like the characters, and characters are who helped me get through this book actually. And I also like the heist part, like con part. I wanted that rather than the secondary main plot. Actually, that became the main plot.
Yeah.
Because of how much violence there was in, because of how much I was hurt, I was like, I don't want this.
Yeah. I like I hear what you're saying, but I think Lynch's prose is what propelled me along with that. Like he does, it's not, it's tonally different than like Martin, where like Martin's prose is very serious. Like nothing's funny. Nothing funny is happening in Game of Thrones. And then, but like, you know, dark crap happens in like Erickson, and that just is like about to collapse under the weight of its own pretension. Like I think Lynch's prose just like it's just so like breezy that even when like horrible things are happening, I'm still kind of like you know, a couple layers of removed from it, just being like, I'm having a good time. Like this is horrible.
Really?
This is pretty fun. This is pretty fun. Yeah. So it's, I'm trying to think of like a movie equivalent. So it's not like it's not like Tommy, like Joe Pesci from Goodfellas. But it's like one step removed from that. Like Tommy's terrifying, but is also, but like the whole vibe of Goodfellas is pretty chill. Like I like the vibe of Goodfellas. I don't love Tommy and his, you know,
That was also very dialogue heavy, that movie.
yeah, yeah. So I'm just trying to think of a show that just like tonally deals with kind of really dark stuff that helps move it along. So I don't know. If I think about something, I'll jump in and say it. But
No, I agree. I think one thing that he does really well is his prose is his introductions to characters. Not only does it describe things that are like shocking or disturbing in a lighthearted way, but it also, I think, lets you know exactly who the character is the moment that you meet them. Like we meet Locke and he says, this is the thief maker says he steals too much. He says, if he had a bloody gash across his throat and a physicker was trying to sew it up, Locke would steal the needle and thread and die laughing. We now know exactly who Locke is.
yeah, and that's just one of like Lynch's like strengths here that I just love.
And it's true of Locke too. You get through this entire book and you see Locke's strengths as well as his deficits, and you circle back to that introduction of him and you find it to be still exactly true.
Yeah. And I really enjoyed the back and forth between the past, and because you start to that mosaic starts to come together as those tiles are put into place, especially the ones with Jean. Like I don't have to beat you. I just have to hold on until Jean gets here. Like those moments are just like, I just loved it. Like I loved
the
it.
best.
And that's another thing that Klaus mentioned in his review, but like I agree. I personally, for books like this, I never guessed what was right, except the stuff like Lynch. He doesn't make what's going on so obtuse to where you couldn't figure it out. But some stuff like you just don't have the context for, and that's fine. But the whole book, I'm guessing about what's going to happen next, except for some parts where you know this is gonna come up, and it's a perfect mix of like, I need to be satisfied by this, like the whole like I just need to hold on until John gets there, like 100% knew it's coming back, knew it was coming back 100%,
but not the way it does.
No, that's true, but it came back, and in a completely satisfying way that and I think he's really good at that, like keeping you guessing. And that's why I'm talking about spoilers here, guys, is that this book, he has set up a world and conventions where I do not know what could happen. And so I don't want you to mention anything about books 2 or 3. I don't want you to mention anybody who's alive. I don't want you to mention any freaking POVs. I don't want you to mention where they are, because this is one of these rare books when I'm reading fantasy where it's keeping me guessing, and I care where it's going, as opposed to like, oh, okay, well, I don't like the book I just finished reading. Like, I don't care. What is the point of this book? Oh, look, okay, well, I don't care. Can someone spoil it for me so I can stop reading it? But yeah, so I'm just really impressed with Scott Lynch, and I don't know why his 4th book isn't out yet. Is it mental health stuff? Is that Is that what? Ugh.
Yeah, he's
When-
had a rough go of it.
When did book 3 come out? How long have we been waiting? Is it 10
Over
years?
10 years.
Come on, guys. Like, what is the like the decade curse with these people?
I know.
All right. I mean, okay. Well,
He is publishing stuff again, so
I mean,
maybe.
I mean, baby steps. Whatever we got to do, baby steps. So I think we should. Anybody have any non-spoiler thoughts before we talk about spoiler stuff?
Okay, this is a dark fantasy. There is a lot of violence. Go into this with the right expectations. That's all I'm going to say.
But it's also light, and it's also hilarious.
It is, and I would call it a dark
But it
fantasy
is.
more than
It
grimdark.
is.
I don't think the outlook at the end. I don't think I was feeling bleak at the end. Like,
Yeah.
I think like the power of friendship conquering stuff. I don't think that can be grimdark.
Yeah, in hindsight, when I think back, it's been like how long it's been since we finished? 15 days.
Mhm.
I do look at it like fondly. I
Yeah.
don't remember that intense stuff. But at that time, while reading in between what happened, I felt actually, oh my God, it's so dark.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about spoilers.
Let's
There's
do it.
many. All right. So if you haven't seen spoilers, okay. So the bromance in book 1 is overhyped. Like in book 1, they have almost no downtime. Like they band together to get stuff done, but it's all like survival mode. We see very little of the actual bromance between just those two. There is the one scene where they're fighting the rival gangs when they're younger. Like they're like I just have to hold on till Jean. But like as far as like the friendship is concerned, it is overhyped.
There was
Now,
better bromance between Locke and Sanjos and Locke and Bug actually than Locke and Jean.
I love Bug and Callow and Galdo.
Wait, before we move on, hold on. We can't just now start talking about Locke with other people. What about when Locke first meets Jean and he's a little brat?
And he says he's fat. He sucks at this. Fat people can't be thieves.
And Chains is like, what if you shut your idiot mouth if you don't know what you're talking about?
I love Chains and Chains
Murphy,
dynamic with all the boys.
I think that you're like
Hold on. I haven't finished my point. Hold on. Wait, Alan.
Okay.
And then Locke steals all the spectacles as an apology to Jean, and they're all the wrong.
Wrong prescription. Look, I think the beginning of a friendship is there. I just think many of you are addressing the friendship as a whole and not just based on book 1. So
you're right.
That's
you
what I'm
are
saying.
right about
I'm eager to see that in the future.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that like all of that's not in book 1 because it's not just Locke and John. It's like he interacts more in the first half. He interacts way more with like, well, maybe not way more, but he interacts just as much with Callow and Galdo.
Yeah.
So there's just so many things I need to say. So first of all, when I'm talking about spoilers, is like, guys, like I don't even want to know because there was a like a sword of Damocles hanging over all the proceedings, and it's Sabitha. It's this friend that isn't mentioned once in any of the flashbacks. You don't see her. It's just someone that Locke's in love with, was part of their crew. Chains trained her too. She's gone. And so I thought that was the Grey King. I thought Sabitha was coming back and was the Grey King. I was not right, and that's fine. But that's the kind of that's what I'm talking about. Is like Lynch is good enough at like leaving stuff out that I don't want to know. Like I don't want to know like anything like that because then that stops me from making
guesses. I don't like that people already mentioned she'll come back in which book actually because that will spoil our theories. I like to come up with my theories even if I am wrong actually. I agree with Alan.
But regardless, that's all I'm saying is in the comments, guys. Like please don't say anything about book 2 or 3. Because like I want to I genuinely don't know where Lynch is going to go with this. 2, and my biggest point is the wizard is stupid. The wizard is where stuff gets messed up. Like the freaking falconer or whatever it is, like what? Like it's OP. Like it's not fair. Like the game, I'm watching Matchstick Men play out. And then all of a sudden we have the mentions of the Gray King, and I love the Gray King stuff that's happening behind the scenes. And I'm like, okay, how is this tied in? Like, how is this going to be, tied into the heist and whatever? At first, I was pissed that we set up the con, and then the very next chapter, we've got Locke ruining his own con by pretending to be the police, ratting him out,
Okay,
which
but
I
that
didn't
was
like.
hilarious.
But then I'm like, then I'm like, okay, well, no, first I didn't know it was Locke. So I'm like, what? Why are we ruining that now? And then I'm like, it's Locke. And I'm like, okay. This isn't necessary because he already believed you. Like, I don't I just don't and that's ultimately his downfall because they ask like, hey, is this guy really a Midnighter? Anyway, so I don't like that. But then like they know everything about Locke. Like, I hate this when people appear out of nowhere and
Okay,
they
but
just
did
happen
they know
to know.
everything about Locke?
They know the
Yeah.
whole
They
plan.
thought
King.
they knew everything about Locke.
The
They
Gray-
thought
the
they
Gray
had half
King,
his
though.
name.
Grey
Gray
King
King.
and the team and the Falconer knew everything about the Locke, and they knew everything about what is that shadow spider.
Uh-huh.
The spider. Yeah, like I just hate that. And the Falconer's just OP. And so then I'm just like this is not
But
like
wouldn't it?
fun
But if you
anymore.
are the normie in a magical world, wouldn't everybody that was advanced in magic feel OP?
Yes. Yes. So I'm not saying that in the world it is not consistent because he's the only but it's just like it's an introduction of this is why it's so hard to do heists and cons in fantasy books because magic exists. And the Falconer was just too powerful. And so and it's fine because it's not the con anymore, but this is kind of where it gets away to from what I wanted it to be. And then I don't like when just bad thing after bad thing continues to happen. And then we get the Gray King comes up, and I'm not super satisfied with the Gray King's identity and all that. Like, it's not my favorite. But chapter 10, where he goes back to the hideout and the twins are dead, I'm like, wait, what?
Oh my god.
Wait,
No.
what? And then even worse is Bug, who's like, guys, like, we're gonna get him. Like, let's get him. And then shot in the neck. And I'm like, what? What?
Yeah.
Bug too? What are we doing? And so what I am worried about going forward is that part of what I loved about the first 2/3 of this book was the relationship between all 6 of them. 6, 5 of them. And now there are 2. And so, I'm like, well, that's not as good. And again, these just sound like complaints. I'm just kind of like tossing things out. But like, I love that Lynch went there because I was half expecting it all to be like after they died. I'm like, okay, so I'm about to spoil, guys. I'm about to spoil Michael Douglas's The Game. It's a movie from the 90s or early 2000s. If you have not seen Michael Douglas's The Game and don't want it spoiled, you should leave. At some point, I'm like, okay, like, is Scott Lynch pulling The Game where Michael Douglas is this disaffected like corporate executive, whatever, that it doesn't really have anything in his life, and so his brother engages in what is like this huge like live action like kind of like espionage game where he watches, like, he's caught up in some kind of spy game and everyone's dying around him, and it's teaching him basically to value life. But at the end, it shows that like it was all fake and like everyone was alive. And I'm like, is that what's happening here? Like, is Locke being taught a lesson here? Like, is it all fake? No, it was not all fake.
Actually, even I expected the same. Because they were all, it was all about how smart Locke was actually. Because in the beginning, it was all hyped up. You are not strong, but you are smart. It's his job
Which
to
I love.
plan.
I love
Yeah.
the fact that Locke is not also a good fighter. So
Exactly.
many fantasy books, he would be a good fighter also.
And
I
they
love
are
the fact that
Yes.
and they're so good at disguises, so I expected them to be like fake Calo and Galdo, not the real ones. I was like almost 90% sure the real ones are safe actually. So when it hit me that I was because see, okay, I don't want to compare it with Game of Thrones, but I just read Game of Thrones before this book. That was in my mind, actually. I'm not going to say it, but in the end of book one, there was a shocking death in Game of Thrones as well when people were shocked. But I realized that, at least for me personally, in Game of Thrones, when it happened, we know why it is happening. We know who is doing that. So, not knowing that, I did not like that actually. Because by that time, I loved Carlo and Goldo. I loved Bug. I was like, I want to know why it is happening if you're going to sell me that as an author, actually. If you're not going to tell me, I'm not going to like it. That
Okay,
is for
well,
sure. Because
okay.
later,
We learned later why.
yeah, later Grey King got an opportunity when he went to take his revenge on Barsavi. He whispers in his ear. I was so pissed. I want to know. Tell me.
I loved it, like, because so many authors they're just cowards. Like, I do not like the modern day is just afraid. Everyone's afraid to kill anybody, and so there's no stakes because we know that they're not really gone. Like, we know that they're fine. And so I don't like that 3 of the 5 gentlemen bastards are dead. Like, I hate that because there's only 2, and I love the 5. But at the same time, I think I think it was good. Like, it was a good decision. It was what needed to happen. Like, everything that happened in this book, I felt was earned and was like the right thing to happen at the time. Like, I didn't feel like stuff was like forced in. That he was trying to shoehorn, forcing us to like be like, oh, look at this, look at how emotional this is. It was just like Locke entered a game that he can't win, and his friends paid for it, and that sucks, and I hate it. I love Jean fighting the two
Sisters.
the two sisters, like, with his hatchets. Love that scene. Like,
Dvirenja's sisters. I
yeah.
can't remember the name.
And so anyway, I thought it was really effective. And then hold on, like, who said that here? Like Monica said here, the death offering. This I did not see. Like, I knew he was going to, like, I knew the when he told the old woman to the spider to sink the ship, like, I knew he wasn't going to take it with him. I just thought it was like, well, you can't have it if I can't. I had forgotten the thing about the death offering. So I thought that was perfect. Like, I was moved when all of that treasure, the 40,000 florin or whatever, is sunk.
Yeah. I something that I really like about Locke is that, okay, so we find out at the beginning he steals too much. We see very quickly that, like, Chains has to teach him, you don't steal from the Yellow Jackets. What are you doing? Or, he causes a scare over a fake plague breakout that just causes chaos and pandemonium. And just because you can just because you can do one more trick doesn't mean you should, you stupid, stupid boy. Like, Chains is constantly fighting against Locke's brilliance and his arrogance. He can't help himself. He's a compulsive liar. He's a compulsive con artist. He's a compulsive showman. And that makes him so good. And it also is why everything failed and he lost to everyone, because he can't stop himself. He can't help himself from, like, one more trick, one more thing up his sleeve. It causes him to end up being, the Grey King is like, hey, why are you here? Who is this? What's happening? It's his own, it's the thing that makes him so excellent. It's the thing that convinces people like Bug to think, no, we're the gentleman bastards.
Yeah.
We keep going and we'll win, because they rely on Locke so much. They rely on his intellect
because
so
the
much.
Grey King wasn't coming for Locke to start with. Like, he was coming for Barsavi, right?
He trusted Locke.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, right. So I love that, as you said, Locke is not an incredible fighter. He's not a magician. He's not skilled in so many things. He's got his mind, and he relies on Jean to be the heavy. He relies on the twins to be his tricksmen alongside of him, and he has his team. But the problem is that his team believes in him too much, and he believes in him too much, and he can't help himself. And so I really appreciate that so many of the conflicts of this book come from his own arrogance and his inability to tell when it's time to stop. I think that makes it so much more compelling.
Oh, Simon, like Basso is a grown-up Locke. Like, you're right, he's too clever for his own good, and it ends up being his downfall. Nah, I agree. Yeah. He was going to rob them, but he killed them because he got. That's right. He had to pay for the bonds.
And also, he already planned Locke's death in the path to Barsavi's revenge. Actually, Locke wasn't safe. Only thing is, Twins and John told him, like advised him, let's run away, but he did not listen. He wants to pull off. He wants to continue playing the con.
Yeah, he wants to keep playing the con with the Duke and the Don.
Sophia, Don, Lorenzo,
Donia,
and Donia Sophia.
The Don and the Donia, whom I loved. Like, I thought he also did a really good job of. What? Can you hang on till I finish this point that I'm making? The too many. Like, I liked Donia. I liked Don and Donia. Like, what are their names?
Lorenzo and Sophia.
Lorenzo. Too many. I'm looking at you, Brian McClellan. The nobility has one characteristic, and it's contempt for the commoners. Like, that's it. We didn't see any of that. Like, they were genteel. They didn't treat their servants poorly. They didn't treat the commoners poorly. They didn't, like, their entire dialogue wasn't talking about, oh, I hate commoners and whatever.
They're good and smart.
And they weren't stupid. Like, they were like Locke's lie. The thing about, like, scarcity and the scarcity of that vintage of wine, like, that was completely believable. Like, just look at when video cards right now, and a new video card comes out and the scalpers have it all. And then like imagine if you could have control over all of NVIDIA's next line. Like, NVIDIA, they're not gonna be able to come out with anything because of the stupid AI chip shortage. But we found a tanker filled with new NVIDIA cards. Like, are you kidding? Like of course you'll seize on that. So I love the fact that no one was like, the con didn't rely on the Lorenzo being stupid, and they also weren't caricatures. And even the spider, like the old woman, like the Duchess of the Amber Tower or whatever. I just thought all the characters were really good. Like, they were pretty well drawn. They weren't caricatures of themselves. Like a Bug at the beginning annoyed me, and at the end I'm like, noble sacrifice. I'm like, pour one out for my homie Bug. It was just great.
Yeah.
Didn't love everything that happened. Like the Grey King again. Like, I didn't know, like, why is this who the Grey King is? Like, why? Like, I don't care about this. And then, of course, I also didn't love the Mission Impossible style. Like, he's gonna blow up the World Trade Center. With the whatever. But I do like how the gentling came back. So the last act, I was just like, okay.
So wait, hold up. What about, okay, the last act you were like, just okay. What about actually defeating the Faulkner by
I'm talking about the last act of recovering the bombs in the penthouse. Like, that is straight out of Die Hard. Like, it's like a Die Hard movie.
I love Sophia in that scene, in the entire arc. Actually,
I have to help get a child out of a bathtub. So y'all.
Okay. I love Sophia actually in that entire bomb diffusing scene. She's kick-ass actually, hands on.
She's such a good character.
Yeah.
I do think Lynch has, I don't know that there is a character that I'm like, that one's really not that good. Even if we don't always love the role that they play, like, I don't think that there's a character that I'm not impressed by. I think they're all
there
really
is
well
not a single caricature character, including like Barsavi was well developed, Nazca was well developed. I loved her actually. And then I loved Nazca. I was like very sad. That's what Alan was teasing me before we start this. When she was dead, I was like, of course, one single character with agency is there in this book, and she was killed.
Okay, so wait, so that's your problem? Please unpack that for me.
No, that's all I said actually. I was very upset when she was dead. I was like, at that point she was the only character with agency, and she was killed off. Female character with agency. I was very upset when she was killed off, actually. But then after that, all our crew members died. I moved on from that, and I was crying with about
Right, right, right.
about
I know.
Carlo and Goldo and Bug. I
Yeah.
was sad. I was very, very, very. I think by the end, because of how much uh, violent they were, Grey King came across as very mustache twiddling villain.
Mm,
With he's not as compelling as Barsavi, at least for me.
okay.
Barsavi was developed since the first scene, almost from the prologue itself. So
Mhm,
there was more depth to Barsavi than Grey King.
mhm. Yeah, I think the fact that they all died softens the fact that Nausicaa had to die.
Yeah, I guess. But oh my
It's
god,
like nobody's safe except for Locke and John, but nobody's safe.
yeah.
But also, what? Oh shucks, I don't actually remember what I was going to say there.
And
Oh,
then we,
it's shocking to me that it happens like here, not
Yeah.
here.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
What? If you're going to do that, how do you do that in the middle? Like, that's crazy to me.
The thing is, like, I love that because you don't expect it. Like
Yeah.
I've just been alive too long, and I've watched too much TV, and I've read too many books, and I've seen too many movies that I am just never surprised anymore. And so I love when something happens that is unexpected.
Yeah.
And that it doesn't come out of left field. It feels earned, because I think there's plenty of like gotchas in modern day stuff, to where it's like, oh, look at this, and it's like, well, I mean, okay, but that's not earned at all. And I really think that that Lynch earned all of his beats here. I'm just really impressed, and for it being a debut novel, like the fact that it's a debut is insane.
Yeah.
So I was just very, very impressed. Never felt like it was 700 pages. Now I do want to talk about in the back half. Locke has been almost murdered. All of his crew's been murdered. Like him and John are miserable, and the Falconer's coming to murder them, and the Grey King's going to kill everybody. And then we have like a 2-episode diversion of trying to steal the banker's clothes. And it's just like, and it's not like I don't like that chapter, because that's more the stuff that I wanted, him conning people.
Yeah.
But where it appears,
Yeah.
it's tonally jarring because of everything that has just happened. And then we've got the slick, like, casino. It's like a casino scene. And it's just like, this just feels so tonally off. Like, the stakes here are not as high as we've raised it. Like, Lynch has raised the stakes, and now we're going to do like let's try to find a mark and, steal his clothes. And I know the reason for it, but it sorry, go ahead, Anita.
I would have preferred, actually, if he had that key to the in room in his pocket, and they would have got that saved that clothes from that inn. Actually, I would have preferred, instead of entire chapter focusing on Con, and also in that process an innocent person got hurt and had to run away. I think we will see that person. Hey, Auntie. I'm guessing we'll see that person, is my guess, actually. But I don't like that innocent person got hurt. That is number one. Number two, entire chapter, I did not like that. After finishing the chapter in the Discord, I said, this chapter is poop. Two people yelled at me.
No, Anita and I had the same. I didn't think it was poop, but I did not like that he was hurting, an innocent person's livelihood. Like, I didn't love that. And yeah, he gave him enough money to move his family, but it's like, I don't want to move. Like, why? I lost my job because of you. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, it's a fine scene. I just thought, like, tonally, it belonged in the first half of the book, not the back half, where everything is like hitting the fan. But it was good. I mean, I love to see Locke's resourcefulness. I like that it took him 3 separate tries to get the clothes. Like, it was It was like one failed hitman mission after another. So I did like that it took 3 times.
I did not. I was tired. I think it depends on how much emotionally you were hurt after everything happened with the twins and Bug, and after how much they were hurt, losing everything. How much I am affected, I want something, the next scene to be earned, actually. At least if you are not, if there is no, you know, revenge, something, at least comfort me instead of some stupid con of stealing stores. That's not okay with me. That entire tonal difference, it did not sit well with me.
They were
Yeah.
still in a position where they couldn't just pause and grieve and reflect on things. Like they had to keep moving, which is why the pacing is this way. Then that's all I'll say. But
I think I needed to feel Locke's like desperation more, and not like I mean, yeah, he tried 3 times, but like it just, again, the tone just felt weird. That's the only reason the scene was weird for me.
Okay, Alan did not read Hob. Murphy, you read Hob, right? How much she talks about how Fizz is feeling, how much we sit with the emotions. I would have preferred that, actually. We don't see the emotion, we just see the game. At that point in the book, I did not want that.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, speaking of feeling, this is kind of a pivot. So when the Falconer has half control over, say?
I said stupid Falconer. Go ahead.
When he has half control over Locke, because he knows half of his name, and Locke is like being compelled, and like you think that he's actually being controlled, but the whole time he's faking it. Something that I loved about it is that Lynch never describes how Locke feels in that scene. He only describes Locke's physicality, which is like the hint that he's not actually being compulsed. Like little details like that enrich the scene so much to me.
This is one of the things I'm talking about, where where we were in the book, the only place that could go was that Locke is not actually his real name, and that it wasn't working. Like that is the only place that scene could go. And that's what I'm talking about. Like he does so many things that like you can't, like what's going to happen. But then there are some like this where I know that this is going to happen, but I'm totally okay with it because it's so earned. And when he shanks him, I'm like, there it is. Like he's just is really good at deciding when you get those beats that you're waiting for, and which ones are going to come out and you didn't know you were waiting for. So I loved it.
I want to talk about that shank scene for a second, though, because it is one of my favorite scenes. Just because the Locke and Jean scene previous, when he tied himself to the guy and he's getting pummeled, and he's like, "I don't have to wait. I just have to wait for Jean to get here." And then the guy's like,
rows a boat in there, like rows a boat onto the dock.
So good. And the guy's like, "Get off me!" All of a sudden, he's trying to run. And then that comes back around with the Falconer. What did you have?
Grey King. It comes back with Grey King when Locke was went alone to fight Grey King.
Right. And it's a fake. It's a lie. Like that, to me, that's so clever because, as you said, it's coming back around.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, like Jean's not actually there.
No, he's not actually there. He used it as an opportunity to stab him. And then as he's stabbing him, he's reciting his brother's names. Yeah. Like, it's the best scene.
Yeah, that is something that I did not expect. Like I thought, I thought we're just gonna hold on to. We got to hold on till Jean gets there. Yeah. And then it turns out he's not there. He uses deception.
So good.
And for me,
for you, what? Ignore Mitch. Mitch is trolling. Go.
Okay, for me, his fight with Grey King is more satisfying. What they did with Falconer, I know people reacted like it was very satisfying for them, but for me, it was too much. I was like, okay, stop torturing that guy. Stop torturing that poor guy. I was like,
that poor guy.
I mean, I it was too much for me. I don't know. I'm weak.
Hold on. Hold on. Buffering. Oh, I also really liked. Hold on. Let's wait for Murphy to get back. Murphy is. Anyway, you talk, Anita, till Murphy gets back, and I can make my point.
Okay. In the Discord as well, I think Klaus and some other people said it was very satisfying scene for them. But for me, I did not feel satisfaction. I felt very cruel for wanting that to person. I was like cutting off the. I know objectively I can see that it was needed or well earned revenge, but it was too much for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was satisfying to me only because the stupid wizard died, and I was so over it. Yeah, not just over the wizard and his overpoweredness.
I like that roadside doctor they found.
Do what?
Roadside doctor. I mean, what do they call him? The one who treated Locke and John's
Oh
injuries at
yes,
the
I
end.
love that guy, the brother or whatever. Like I love that guy. Yeah, that guy's awesome.
The dynamic with him is funny actually.
Does he die? Does he get killed?
No, he
Okay.
ran away with them at the end. He was the one who was treating Locke at the end.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so he got roughed around though, but he is alive. Good. I love that guy. I love that guy. I also liked that these other people that end up being like Chains' old war buddies, like Jean's tutor who's a noble in the in the glass rose house or whatever. And then who's the third one? Who's the other one that was
Locke goes to some farm. That farm belongs to one of his buddies.
That's right. And what did he learn there?
That was never mentioned. I think maybe it will come up next in the future books.
Hold on. Yeah, I don't love the torture, but
Alan's day is already ruined, Jared.
So now the name of the fourth book is Thorn of Emberlane. So I guess at some point between now and book 4, he's going to make himself to the north, where his merchant character was from. Maybe I hope he gets the wine. Like, I hope he gets the wine there, because he's the Thorn of Camor right now. So
maybe
yeah. What?
It didn't bother you that this book doesn't have map? Does your book have map?
Mine is a map of the city. It doesn't have a map of the world. I have a map of the city.
I don't have any map.
I have a map of the city.
Oh, nice. And then I'll Google it. I don't have any map. It bothered me a lot. I was like, I need map.
Careful Googling stuff, Anita.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just really, really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to. Like, I dog-eared these things, but I don't really know why I dog-eared these. Hold on. One's program science. I don't know why I dog-eared this page.
I like that world building where the flashback of what are these Faulkner people called? Wizards?
Yeah, I don't know where they're from. I forget where they're from. But
yeah. What they did to the kingdom in the past. That story was cool and cruel, obviously, but it was a
welcome
good
back,
world
Murphy.
building detail.
Thank you.
Why did I dog-ear this page? Okay. So I do like. Who is Conti? Conti. Oh, Conti's the Don's bodyguard.
Bodyguard. He was cool, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do like, because the thing is, like, because we like this only works because we like Don Lorenzo and Doña Sofia. But I like because if they were in modern day Americans, they would be insufferable, and there would be it would just be the point that Locke is making, the societal point that Locke is making here, only works because we there's no reason to say it if we don't like the rich people. I do what I do, Conti, said Locke with a bitterness that surprised him. I do what I do. Is Lorenzo a saint of Paralandro. He's a peer of Camor. He profits from the secret peace. His great-great-grandfather probably slit someone else's throat to claim a peerage. Lorenzo benefits from that every day. People make tea from ashes and piss in the cauldron, while Lorenzo and Sophia have you to peel their grapes and wipe their chins for them. Don't talk to me about what I've done. I need to get inside Raven's reach now. And that's when he's like you're but Conti has a point too. Like, you're hurting like decent people. Like, these are not monsters. Like, you're hurting, but I mean, I get it. Like,
And Conte reminds him he came to rescue in that alley. This is how you are paying him back.
Yeah, yes, exactly. It's like this dude, he could have walked on by and let you get shanked in an alleyway. Like, this is a good man. And the reason that that's even complex at all is because that's true about Lorenzo and Sophia. And if it wasn't, it would just all be flat.
And that I like that final scene, Locke says as if that he's leaving friends, I'm going to miss you. Then Sophia says, I'll kill you if you come.
Anitha, Bep says it's Venice. Don't Google. They spoil book 2 so bad. Don't do it.
Okay. You send me images of maps once we are done.
So, do you guys have any desires or predictions for book 2?
I don't know, but I forgot that Abelius was with them. So there are 3 of them, at least. It's not just Locke and John. I forgot that the doctor Abelius was there. The one that's like, hey, what if you stop? Stop. Like, you need to rest. You're gonna rest.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Like, I love that guy. He's just like, guys, stop. Y'all stop.
Yeah. Too big of fools.
My only guess is that Christina? Christina's username changed.
Hold on. I just pulled this up while we're getting ready for bed and asked. Oh, okay.
My only guess is that when he was stealing clothes, that waiter guy, whatever. I don't remember the city name, Stalvera and some other name with T. One of the names he mentioned. I don't remember exactly, but I'm guessing we are going to see that guy. Maybe when they are in the middle of the con or something like that. So far, that's my only guess. And also, after what they did to the wizard, I think we will see wizards again. I don't know in which capacity. So far, that's it.
I'm going to miss you, Doña Vorcenza, said Locke, and you as well, my lord and lady Salvara. All apologies for getting most of your fortune buried under garbage. I hope we can still be friends. Set foot in our house again, said Sophia, and you'll become a permanent fixture in my laboratory.
I love that scene. And see, while I agree that entire final act bomb diffusing looked like some kind of movie scene,
it was an action movie.
But I love the dynamic between all characters.
Yeah,
how Locke acted like he's with friends or like he's not in any danger. I love, and characters worked for me in this book. That saved me actually. Entire characters, dynamic between each characters.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
So that's true of me as well, Anitha, and that's true of me with the sequels as well, where regardless of what the plot is, regardless of if you like the plot, which I happen to love the plot of book 2, but regardless of how you feel about the other elements, the characters stay so strong. The dialogue stays so strong. The prose, the wittiness stays so strong that if some of the other elements get shuffled, if certain characters, we lose them, and then we're like, oh no, like, well, what? Our whole dynamic has changed. Lynch's craft doesn't change. And so for me, that's enough to keep me reading forever. Lynch could never stop writing, and I'll be there because of the craft.
Yeah. And when Locke comes back to tell about the bomb thing, the first question from that spider is, how did you run? You jumped on the elevator, right? See, I was right. I know that.
Yeah, like I told you, that's how he got out. Yeah.
That is such a geeky thing to do. I love that actually. Yeah. So yeah.
I mean, it doesn't give me like I'm not super thrilled that that no one seems to have high praise for book 3. That's not great.
So Lynn likes book 3 as much as book 1.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
nice.
And
I didn't see
I
that.
still like book 3 quite a lot. But it
That's-
is true that it's not the crowd favorite.
Yeah. Anyway, this is a good book. Like I like it more after talking about it.
Yay! 5 plus.
I do
Excellent.
agree that in hindsight, after even with distance, I'm liking it more actually. But I am very sure when it comes to violence, even while reading book 2, I'm going to complain, and Ellen is going to yell at me, continue to yell at me.
Oh my gosh.
You're allowed to complain.
No, the only way you can get 5 stars is to have no female characters in your book, so that no one says anything mean to them, and none of them die. That's the only way. That's the only way you can get it. Only way you can get 5 stars from Anita. So we'll see. Anyway, Murphy, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, I love to hear your perspective, and you know, it's a good
I'm
book.
glad to hear you two enjoyed it so much. It makes me very, very happy. I was nervous, Alan. I was nervous.
No, I mean, I was nervous too, because it is a booktube darling. Though, I mean, Kyle says people don't hype this book up. He's not right. People hype this book up all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like
I do want to mention. Sorry, go ahead, Murphy.
I was just going to say there's a couple of us that hype it constantly, but I would say that it's not widely hyped.
Yeah, well, look, I mean,
I think it depends on which part of the booktube we are. Around me, everyone liked it and everyone hyped it a lot.
I mean, for a fantasy book, it is super popular.
Yeah.
It is. Locke Lamora has 350,000 ratings on Goodreads. Like, for a fantasy book, that's insane. Like that's Sanderson and Martin numbers.
You know, I will tell you like comparison how much it was hyped for me or how much I expected. Because of how much people talk about Locke and John's friendship, it felt like, you know, all the time we talk about, you know, we were told about this, we weren't shown, right? That's how I felt, you know, more than it was shown on the page. I felt like I was told about the friendship, though it's not from author.
I felt it by the end because, you know, I can see where where it's going. But hold on. Oh, so I will say there is a lot of F-bombs in this book, and the reason I did not mention it is because it was not distracting. I thought it was just enough that fit the setting. What bothers me is when I feel like it's excessive, and that's one of those things like the Supreme Court justice when he's like, "What is obscenity?" He's like, "I don't know, but I know it when I see it." Like there is a balance depending on the story you're telling and the way you're writing it. Like there comes a point where I am noticing the swearing too much. And it's pulling me out of what I'm trying to do.
But it fits these characters so much.
And it didn't. And it like every other word was not an F-bomb. Like we gotta F and get out of here. Like come on, F and Gray King. I'm gonna F him up. Like it just wasn't that. It just wasn't that. And
right.
I'm like, okay, so this is fair. Like people swear. Like that's fine. So it did not feel excessive to me. And when it's excessive, it does bother me. When I'm reading, because it takes me out of it, but this did not. So the
example you gave, I think, is like a modern day way of like what you think of like a sailor or something like that. But
modern day stuff is like they have forgotten how to write, and I
I mean the way people talk modern day, if they're excessive. Okay,
no, that's what I mean.
I think the way Lynch swears in his books is like with a flourish.
Yeah,
I love it.
The Scream movies are my favorite horror movies.
Okay.
But if you watch Scream 6 and compare it to Scream 1, in Scream 1, the characters are able to speak and like have reactions that are not an F-bomb. Like the only thing anybody can say in like the later movies is, oh, F that. And I'm just like, I mean, I guess, but like, did y'all forget how to write dialogue? Like people are able to, you know, like characters can communicate in other ways, but I guess not. But yeah, I mean, it's not like a Jay Kristoff novel where, you know, I think the preview chapter on Amazon of Empire the Vampire has more swearing than the entirety of Locke Lamora. So, but yeah, no, it was great. It was great. I'm glad that we read it. I'm glad you joined us. I'm excited to read book 2. I don't know when I'm going to read it.
Well, just let me know. I'd like to do a reread of book 2 since I didn't have time to do this one. But
you should reread book 2.
I think I will. I looked it up, and book 3 was released in October of 2013.
So it's been 13. Lynch, get on it, man. Like, get on it, bud. Like he should want to pull himself out of the company that he's in, because no one can want to be like, because we've got Martin, bless his heart, Rothfuss, who everyone has the least amount of pity for. Like no one has sympathy for Rothfuss.
Well,
well, I mean, doesn't Rothfuss take money for things and then not?
Yeah, he's not cool.
That's what I'm saying. Like Rothfuss, like no one. Yeah. Like I love George. Like I'm not gonna go after Martin. Like let that man ride his trains, and you know, that's fine. But like Lynch, come on, I believe in you, Scott. Like I believe. Like I want to send a bouquet of flowers to his house and be like, I believe in you. Like I believe in you. Like let's pull ourselves out and get our thorn of Emberlane. All right, cool. Well, thank you guys so much for no one cares what happens to Denna. Literally nobody. So thank you guys for joining us in the chat. It has been delightful. And Murphy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Anita, do you have any final comments about the book?
I know what you're doing. No, I don't have any comments.